of course, we completed and published the annual HR needs practice survey report for members. All of this, of course, can be accessed on the Institute's website. Now, with respect to our desire, of course, to continue the automation and digitalization of our processes in the Institute, we have now introduced a new user-friendly portal. We continue to enhance our technological capacities and infrastructure at the CIPM HQ. And of course, we have deployed the CIPM mobile application. Now, the CIPM mobile application is currently in the test phase as far as using it for, the membership portal, and of course, for e-voting. We're quite hopeful that that is what we'll also be using at least for voting for this election. In the same year and in the same vein, we completed successfully the National Data Protection Compliance Audit. And of course, your institute has been issued with a certificate of compliance. So we're fully compliant with all, the data protection requirements as enshrined, of course, in the NDPR Act. The last, of course, is reskilling and retooling our employees and leaders. In the last 1 year, we've continued to build capacity both at the branch level, at the HQ, and of course, even amongst members of the council. We organized a plant leaders capacity development workshop, which was attended by all branch chairmen. We had a retreat attended by council members, where, of course, we then developed the strategic initiative for 2025 to 2027. We continue to reskill members of leadership, and in doing this, we ensure that members of the leadership team, elected council members, attended a corporate governance program and seminar, which was organized by the Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators and the Financial Reporting Council. The essence of this, of course, is to ensure that we all understand our responsibilities and what we need to do, and we also do them ethically. We're implementing, of course, we implemented various capacity development initiatives for employees of the Institute. Quite a number of them, of course, had the opportunity to attend various learning interventions, both locally and internationally in the course of the year. And of course, we completed the competency assessment and skill gap analysis for our HQ staff. What next for us, and what do we intend to do? As far as the SOAR agenda is concerned, we'll continue, of course, to deepen our strategic collaboration, either locally or internationally. And just as we have done with CIPD and CPHR of UK, we intend to start immediately an engagement with SHRM of the US. I've been invited to attend the STREAM conference, which is happening from the 29th to the 2nd of July, 29th of June to 2nd of July. I got a personal invitation from the president of STREAM. And on the heels of that, on the 1st of July, we will be having a meeting, leadership and the leadership of STREAM, to begin to discuss the possibility of a mutual recognition, and just like a mutual recognition agreement, just as we have, of course, with CIPD of UK and CPHR of Canada. Now, to ensure that we take this forward, and we have already mandated the HQ to begin initial conversations with the SHRM team, so that by the time we visit or we attend the conference in June and in July, we probably will be going ahead to sign an MOU with STREAM. We will continue to deepen the optimization, of course, of our member value proposition. Of course, we are aware that the reason people stay in any professional body or institute at all is because they expect to get some value, and they get the value. It's the only reason why people, for example, will pay their subscriptions and they will stay. This is something that we'll continue to do. Beyond the welfare schemes, we will continue to push out learning interventions for members of the institute, so that at every point in time, just as we're doing right now, so that at every point in time, at least people have opportunities to access learning interventions on the LMS platforms of the Institute. Our platforms will become a lot more robust and a lot more user-friendly for our members to be able to access such learning interventions. And we will be going further on, to ensure that the specialist certifications that the Institute desires for its members to have around performance management, around talent acquisition, around talent management, around compensation and benefits, we are able to deploy a lot more, at least in the coming year. So we will continue to reskill members of the Institute, either those holding branch leadership roles, those who are holding leadership roles at the national level or at committee levels, as well as, of course, staff of the HQ. The reason we are doing this, of course, is to ensure that the service that we give to our members remain top-notch. Having said that, what makes one and everybody a member of the Institute is your commitment to the ideals and the values of the Institute. And part of our commitments, to the ideals and values of the Institute, of course, is also, our obligation to pay, our subscriptions to members of the Institute. So we will continue as leadership, to drive this engagement with members and encourage our members, of course, continue to pay their subscriptions. Unfortunately, because we have also realized that we have quite a number of members who, for some reason or the other, have also gone to sleep as far as the membership of the Institute is concerned. We have agreed that we will put out some sensitization communications out there to sensitize people, of course, to their commitment and obligations to the Institute. But beyond this, after some time, we may begin to consider the option of delisting members from the register of the Institute if they do not stay financially up to date with the Institute. Now, we realize the need for us as CIPM and as leadership to also ensure that we protect our members and we protect their jobs and we protect their functions as professionals. It is the reason why, for example, we have set up a council committee for enforcement of compliance and for regulation. We call it the Regulatory Compliance Committee of the Institute. It's a new committee which we put up at the last 1 year. We're doing this because we want also to ensure that wherever our members are, they enjoy their status as professionals in the HR profession and not quacks, and they are also protected. Now, part of the things that we are also trying to do is to activate the CIPM tribunal. The tribunal is intended to deal with misdemeanors and misconduct amongst members of CIPM. But beyond that, we will also be going after people who are in the practice of HR, who are not members of the CIPM, and who ordinarily should be members of the CIPM. Now, all of this is in the works. We ordinarily will have inaugurated the tribunal on March 4th this year, alongside the investigation panel. But whilst we have already received nomination of an assessor from the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation, we're still waiting for the Office of the Chief Justice of the Federation of Nigeria, to approve and share with us the practice direction which the CIPM tribunal will use. I'm saying this at least so that our members will know that, yes, it is our desire, of course, to protect your profession and your membership of the Institute. And the only way, of course, we can do this is to ensure that everyone who should be a member of CIPM, before they can properly practice HR in Nigeria, is brought into the net. And where they fail to do so, we will be wielding the big stick. But before we do all of this, there will be a lot of sensitization going on in the print and electronic media to get people to understand why we need to do this and why we will be doing this. This will be particularly a major focus, in the second year of our leadership if we get returned into office. Thank you very much for listening. It is now time to hear from all of you. And I'll be glad to take questions from our distinguished panelists, our distinguished members who are on the call. Thank you very much, Prince. And Motola, thank you. Over to you, both.
Thank you so much, Mr. President, for that detailed and inspiring account of your administration's accomplishment in the last 1 year. It is evident that that significant progress has been made, and you're setting a good foundation for a continuous success. We now move to our interactive Q&A section. This is the opportunity to ask questions, share your thoughts, get clarifications, and engage with the president.
Yes, so please feel free to indicate your questions in the chat box, or you can use the raise your hand feature, and of course we will let you speak. While we are waiting questions from participants and audience, Mr. President, we have some questions for you, and of course this would definitely add some great value to this session. All right, and once again, thank you, Mr. President, for the thoughtful and comprehensive responses so far, in terms of what your administration has been able to do over the last 11 to 12 months. All right, so Mr. President, at the start of your journey, you shared a very compelling vision for the Institute, which you tagged the SOAR agenda. So in retrospect, really, how closely have the actual achievements aligned with the original strategic intent when you started off campaigning over 12 months ago? And of course, since you've actually been in office, over the course of the last 11, 12 months, were there any recalibrations or strategic pivots that you had to make along the way?
Thank you very much, Prince. I would say that we have stayed focused. We have stayed committed, of course, to the SOAR agenda. And in staying focused and staying committed, one of the things that we have done, of course, is to ensure that we aligned in the SOAR agenda with what we found on the ground as the strategic initiative of the Institute, which was then, of course, going to expire by December 2024. So, are going on to strengthen our collaborations with CIPD, with CPHR, with the Federal Civil Service, with the agencies of government that we mentioned, was we aligning the SOAR agenda, of course, with the strategic initiatives of the Institute. So we made sure that we didn't leave anything behind, just like as we did not leave anyone, of course, behind in driving everything that we said we were going to do in terms of the SOAR agenda, from strengthening our collaboration to optimizing, of course, the members value proposition, to reskilling, everything that we said we will do. Did we have to recalibrate? Yes, we did. And what exactly did we do? We realized that if we wanted to optimize membership value proposition, of course, we may need to take some very hard decisions, and this we did. We came in, for example, and we told the HQ that, look, we have had, for example, some members' welfare scheme, in the kitty for a very long time. They were on the drawing board, we needed to activate this. And we did that before the year ran out in December. Beyond that, we also came back to say, look, we have taken a look at the budget that we have for the year. Although we did not, as leader, we were part of the old leadership, as well, of course, as chairman of the council committee, So there was a budget that we had actually approved. But we saw that in the next 7 months from when we took office to the end of the year, we could actually do a lot more. So we went back and we sat down and we said, look, the budget that we have, let us recalibrate this budget. We are sure that we can deliver beyond what we have in this budget, and that was what we did. In doing that, for example, we agreed that we needed to drive membership growth. So together with staff of the HQ, we agreed that, look, we have to do a lot more than we're doing now. And that was what, of course, led to our decision to regionalize induction. It was what led us to have our first induction, for example, in Abuja, which was basically, meant for people in the public service and in the, of course, in the civil service of the state. So these were some of the things that we did. We took that decision right from the spot that maybe if we now regionalize our induction, we will be able, of course, to take CIPM closer to people. And we've seen that really work. We went to Abuja, we listened to our chairman from branches around Abuja who kept saying, look, our members are having challenges having to come to Lagos for induction, And so people from around Abuja, beyond those who are either in the armed forces or those in the federal civil service in Abuja, joined the induction that we first had, in Abuja. And then we went on to Abia, in December 2024. This year we're going to Osun and then to Akwa Ibom. I'm saying this because these are some of the very hard decisions that we had to take and breaking away, from the norm and from what used to be the practice in the institute before now. So yes, to some extent, we had to recalibrate even the SOAR agenda for us to be able to deliver on some of these things.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. Ibrahima, I know your hand is up. Can you drop your question in the chat box so we can be able to answer them? Also, Mr. President, of all the initiative implemented in the past 1 year, which one do you believe has the most transformational impact on the CIPM, on its members, or the HR professional at large, and why?
Hey, first, I think the mutual recognition agreement which we signed, first with CIPD and then with CPHR, I believe is something that is bringing a lot of transformation. It is also opening doors to members of the Institute. I say this not only in the context of members of the Institute who want to JAPA, and who know that they need a CIPD certification or a CPHR certification to do that. I'm saying this because I have had members of the Institute, and very senior members of the Institute too, some of them who have even retired from full-time work, say to me that, look, the CIPD mutual recognition which we have done and the CPHR mutual recognition is also helping people like us. We now work in the gig economy. And in the gig economy, we are trying to access, opportunities in the UK and in Canada. And when we put our profiles out there, we get asked the question, oh, okay, do you have CIPD certification? Or do you have CPHR certification? We will only give, we will only contract people who have these certifications or give this task or this assignment or these jobs, to people who have this kind of certification. And some of them have come to say, look, I've quickly gone ahead, to get my CIPD certification. I've gone ahead to get my CPHR certification so that I may have lost out on those opportunities, some opportunities in the past. But I now know that with these certifications, I can, leverage these opportunities. Now, that for me is transformational and it's very good. The other thing, of course, is also the automation, that we're bringing on. First, like I said, of course, we started by asking our members to go ahead and update, their data, but beyond that now, we've gone ahead to ensure that our membership portal is a lot more friendly. People can interact easily, we're now deploying a CIPM mobile app, which, like I said, is now in the test phase. We hope that it will be used, of course, for elections. People can download the app, on their phones and engage, with their institute without necessarily having to come there or even going to sit with their laptop. All of these, I believe, are things, of course, that is driving transformation for the institute. And I believe as part of the success stories, of course, that we're glad to share with our members. But above all, beyond the mutual recognition agreements, beyond and the automations that we're doing, I think the other thing that for me, I think we have also implemented and that has also put the institute out there is the collaboration that we are having with the Federal Civil Service and the respective state civil service. Because now we have HR, people who are in HR and admin in the Federal Civil Service, in the state civil service, and even in the local governments, now applying to join the CIPM, not only to get the certification, but of course to be able to learn, to access the learning opportunities that we provide in the institute. So, like I said, we've had inductions in Abuja. We had a specialized induction in Alausa, last year. We've had a specialized induction for HR practitioners in the Abia State Civil Service. We've had one for Osun State. We have had another one for Akwa Ibom. And if you go to all of this induction, you will find that 95% of those we are inducting are coming from the civil service or from the local government services of the respective state. So that is the leadership putting CIPM out there in the public service beyond what we are doing in the private sector, where the institute used to be a lot more welcome. We're out there now. And I mean, I think our best is yet to come as far as bringing in members of the public service into our fold. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. President, for your very thoughtful answers so far. One very key thing for me is over the past 12 months, right? What new measures in terms of ethical standards has your administration taken to actually enforce ethical standards and professional conduct amongst members? Are there systems that have been put in place to actually handle breaches more transparently?
Okay. Thank you very much. Again, I would like to start by saying we're not there yet, but I believe we are on course, to get there. We do have a we do have a standing committee of council which deals with professional conduct. I have had the privilege of being chair of that committee, before I became president. Now, that committee is expected, of course, to deal with matters relating to members of the institute, matters of misconduct or misdemeanor, as the case may be, that are reported, to the institute. Unfortunately, what we have not seen happen a lot is for people to come out to report some of these misdemeanors or misconducts by HR professionals and HR practitioners, particularly those of them who are members of the CIPM. We haven't seen that. But we believe that as leadership, what we need to do is probably to sensitize our members, on the need for them to come out and speak, when things happen. Now, behind the scene, we've had some incidents, that were brought to our attention. And as leadership and as CIPM, we have reached out to those who are concerned behind the scene, because some of them, again, are matters that were beyond just the purview of CIPM. Some of them, of course, involve law enforcement agencies. So on our part, as an institute, we reached out to those who are members of the institute who are affected, and we did what we had to do. Now, the reason why some of these, of course, did not come public, like I said, is because you now have other law enforcement, you have law enforcement agencies involved, and that perhaps is because some of the conducts that were reported were also criminal in nature, beyond just professional misconduct. So, of course, we had to leave the law enforcement agencies to deal with that. Now, having said that, I spoke earlier on, about are setting up a regulatory compliance committee. Now, that committee is the one that has responsibility, of course, for also driving the setting up of the CIPM tribunal and the investigation panel. Now, that committee, like I said, has gone as far as we have constituted the investigation panel. We have also, of course, constituted the tribunal, and we already have the approval of council to go ahead and inaugurate them. Like I said earlier, the committee has also even gone further to get the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation, to nominate and assign an assessor to sit, on the tribunal with other members of the tribunal. What is delaying the inauguration of the tribunal, like I said, is the fact that for us in the practice of law, for example, there's what we call a practice direction. The practice direction, of course, is what guides, the conduct of either a court, or a tribunal, so to say. So when I was approached by the committee to say, Mr. President, come and inaugurate, the investigation panel and the tribunal, and the president of the institute is the chair of the tribunal, I told the committee to tarry a while until, of course, we get the practice direction from Office of the Chief Justice of the Federation. Now, as soon as we get that, then we will be able to deploy the sensitization we want to do, to sensitize our people and to create awareness around the fact that, look, wherever you see any misconduct or hear about a misconduct, you should report it. Now, beyond that, like I said, is as soon as we have all of this in place, one of the things that we have agreed to do as leadership is also to begin to reach out to those who are in the practice of HR, especially those who are holding HR director positions, and who are not members of the institute, to say, look, we are the ones who have the mandate to regulate the practice of HR in this country. We have checked to our register. You have found that you are not a member. You can no longer hold this position. Or at least we give a moratorium. We have seen other institutes do it, and that's what we also intend to do. And it is it's our major focus, for our second term, if we do come back into office, as we hope that we will. Thank you, Prince.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. President. One question I have yet that I know a lot of us will have in mind as well will be, beyond the traditional learning engagement training programs that we have, how has CIPM innovated in learning and development, possibly e-learning, micro-certifications or partnership with academic institutions to meet the evolving needs of today's HR professionals?
Thank you very much, Mutola. I spoke earlier on about the HR practice needs. Beyond the HR practice needs, I'm aware that almost about 2 years ago, we also launched a body of knowledge around specialist certifications. And I think we started off looking at talent management and performance management. We have all agreed that we need to take it beyond those two parts of the HR value chain to compensation and benefits, to employee relations, and to all of this. So have our members able to access learning online? I believe that in time to come, we will be deploying an LMS platform, of course, which will make it easier for people to access learning opportunities. But beside that is that the CIPM is an institute where you have a lot of buzz around learning. I do not think that there's any month, in the whole year where you will not have one learning intervention or the other from CIPM, bringing in various HR thought leaders, HR professionals, to speak on various areas of the HR value chain, and of course, burning issues in the HR value chain. I know that, for example, earlier in this week, we spoke on the cost of living crisis. And in doing that, of course, we brought the president of the NLC, we brought the director general of NECA, we brought several other people to speak on them. Before now, we've spoken, for example, on the minimum wage. And every month, we have the CIPM and you webinar series, where HR thought leaders, of course, come to speak and to engage members. Now, some of these interventions may not be certificated, but at least they provide learning opportunities. We are not saying that is all that we can do. There's a lot more that we can do. And yes, we intend to ensure that we have an LMS platform where, of course, our members can access the body of knowledge that have been developed, and of course, can also access learning opportunities. Now, are we collaborating with academic institutions? Yes. I know that we now have HR clubs in about 8 universities. Hopefully, before this year runs out, we will be going on, of course, to also sign MOU with some other university. I'm very sure of the University of Jos and the University of Ilorin, for example. But yes, do we have partnerships with some universities right now? Yes, I can say that, yes, with the University of Ibadan, with Leeds University, with Covenant, and a few other institutions like that we do. And in these universities, we now have HR clubs where, of course, we are catching, HR students who are in the HR and industrial relations, of course, education path, to join the institute. They begin to write the CIPM exams, even before they graduate, and quite a number of them have been inducted, as members of the institute upon their passing the examinations, even before they graduate from the university. So we will continue this. We will ensure, of course, that we deepen this as time goes on. Thank you, Amatola.
All right, thank you so much, sir. There's a question here, and initially where you had mentioned about digitalizing thing. Dr. Ahmed said, is there an online induction or a plan for an online induction for CIPM membership?
Oh, doctor, we have always had online induction. Our inductions have always been hybrid. So I recall that when we had an induction, for example, in September last year, in Lagos here, beyond members from Nigeria who joined virtually and were inducted online, we had members who joined from as far as Sierra Leone, and 1 or 2 other African countries who are inducted. So yes, we already have, our induction is hybrid, and people join online and they get inducted online. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. And one final one from me, and of course, this is more on a personal note. So for you, Mr. President, what has been the most humbling or defining moment for you in this role over the past year or so? And of course, how has it shaped the way you actually lead this institute?
Thank you, Prince. I'll take it from the beginning and up until now, because when you talk about humbling moment, first, I was humbled by the fact that in the history of the institute, I was elected by the highest number of votes that any president ever got in the history, in the 56, 57-year history of the institute. That, for me, was very humbling. What is even more humbling is the fact that as we go into this election, I am running alone as an unopposed candidate in this election. Nothing can be more humbling than this, that members of the institute think that I have led a team that has done well enough not to be challenged by anybody to contest the election. And this is not just for me as president. My vice president is running unopposed. The national treasurer is also running unopposed. This for us is very, very humbling. Talk about being humble. Being humbled is also being elected in my very first year onto the board of the African HR Congress, HR Confederation. Being humbled is going to pay a visit to the Director General of the Public Service Institute of Nigeria with a view to deepening our collaboration and then getting inducted right there and then into the Hall of Fame of the Public Service Institute of Nigeria. This, for me, are very, very humbling. But above all, is the fact that members of the Institute, the over 20,000 strong members of CIPM, will even consider trusting me with the leadership of the Institute, as they have done in the last 1 year, and as they intend to do for another 1 year. Thank you very much, Prince. Those, for me, are my very humbling moments. Whatever it is that we have achieved, in the course of this 1 year, pale into insignificance compared to, our members trusting me with the leadership of the Institute.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. We appreciate your thoughtful insights and of course, taking your time to walk us through this journey so far. It's been a privilege hearing directly from you on the vision, the impact, and of course, the heart behind this institute over the past 11 to 12 months. We will not keep you for much longer. And of course, at this point, we would like to say thank you once again. We understand a lot of our participants have questions. We see your questions in the chat box, but sadly, we are constrained with time. We may not be able to take all these questions, but of course, rest assured that they will be put together and shared with the CIPM president much later. And of course, he will provide answers to them. Thank you so much once again, Mr. Ahmed, Ladan, Gobir. Thank you for your time. And
thank you very much. Thank you.
To move into another segment of this interactive session. And of course, we would like to get some goodwill messages from some of our esteemed members of the Institute who have also walked this path of leadership and excellence themselves. So randomly, I may have to call some of us on the call to just hear your thoughts and some of your goodwill messages. Mrs. Ogochukwu, born FCIPM, I saw you on the call earlier. I don't know if you're still with us. If you are, please unmute your mic and video so we can hear some of your thoughts. In 3 minutes, please.
Okay.
We are constrained of time, so please.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Are you hearing me? Am I heard?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay,
yes.
Good evening so much. Good evening. Good evening, Mr. President, and good evening, Vice President and our leaders on the call. It's actually a big pleasure to be here, just to talk about what this leadership have been able to do in the past 1 year. Just like our president rightly pointed out, it's been a journey. It's been a journey that God has been the one backing us up. We say that I'm sure President didn't want to tell you people some other sides of the journey, whereby we'll come back and our whole body will be aching. But then God has been our strength. It's been a journey filled with a lot of challenges in terms of wanting to do the best as we promised our people and as we assured our people that we will do. But all the same, all we can say is that we are ready to do more. The team are ready to do more if we are given the opportunity to come back, to come and serve the Institute in the next 1 year. And so we just plead with you that whatever you think, the suggestions or the ideas or things that are burning in your heart that you feel that is needful for us to do for the Institute is our Institute. We are all in it together. It's just that we are just given the opportunity, the privilege to actually spearhead the activities. So please, if there are thoughts, I can see there are a lot of thoughts people have put on the chat box or maybe the Q&A session. If there are thoughts you have in mind, initiatives you think that will move our Institute forward, please feel free to reach out to us. We'll put all together and see how it aligns with our strategic imperatives and be sure that we'll do everything best. We seek your support even as we go back to the election booth again. Please support us and be rest assured that even when we get there, we still need your support so that our institute will move forward, will do better. And be rest assured that in the next 1 year, if God willingly puts us there and with your support, we will come back in the next 1 year to give better reports. Thank you so much, and I appreciate everyone on the call. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ma. And then I'll call Mr. Aminu Yao. You have 3 minutes, please. Stamani, are you on the call? I saw you some few seconds ago. Okay, so while we're waiting for Mr. Aminu, let's go to Dr. Michael Ogu for your Gobir message.
All right, good evening, professional colleagues, and thank you so much, Omotola. Let me also add my voice to that of the National Treasurer in expressing my appreciation to Mr. President for great leadership he has offered the last 1 year. I've been a part of the leadership team the last 11 to 12 months. I've been in the engine room where we've been making things happen. And so I also want to ask our colleagues on the call to please support Mr. President's re-election bid, and also to all those of us who are seeking re-election, we seek your support to give us the mandate to continue the good work in office. The SOAR agenda is fully aligned with the strategic trust of the Institute, and we believe that with the opportunity to extend that privilege to serve for another 1 term, we'll be able to not only consolidate, but also take the Institute to greater heights. CIPM will deliver value through people. Thank you so much, Omotola. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Michael Ogu. Mrs. Saidatu Farouk, I see you on the call. If you may, please kindly unmute and speak so we can hear your goodwill message. Mrs. Saidatu Farouk, are you here with us? Okay, while we're waiting for Mrs. Saidatu Farouk to join us, Mr. Adeyemi Ajayi, FCIPM, if you're here, please, would you share your goodwill message? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Prince, confirm you can hear me, Prince.
Loud and clear, please proceed.
Loud and clear.
Okay, I think that is Mrs. Farouk.
Yes, my ECM, good evening.
Good evening. Let me yield the floor to you. You were called earlier on. Please go ahead. I'll come after you.
Oh, wow. This is unprepared anyway. Good evening, Your Excellency. Good evening, all the professionals on the call. Good evening, my other colleagues. I don't know what is expected of me, but I can just say, well done, Our Excellency. God will see you through from beginning to the end again. You are doing a very good job with everybody put together. We are all proud of where we are today. And I believe that we're going to take the CIPM higher again to the next level. We're very visible in the global space as it is right now. We're becoming visible in the public sector back at home. And I believe that by the time we come together again and pull our forces together, we'll do exploits. Well done, everyone. Well done, Yemi, and every other aspirant on the call. I pray that we soar together by the grace of God. Thank you very much.
All right, distinguished colleagues on this call at the IPM. Mr. President has laid out most of the things that we've been able to do. In the last 1 year, I've been privileged to lead the Innovation and Digital Transformation Committee. That is the committee that is driving the digital transformation of the Institute. And I'm sure most of us, you will have seen what we have been able to do with respect to the membership portal, the examination portal, even the e-voting portal, and of course, the application portal. The president has spoken about the fact that we are working already on the CIPM app. The app is already at the test phase. The membership aspect of the app is ready, and the e-voting is already being tested. Hopefully by next week, we should be able to deploy for members to be able to download on Android and also on for those that are using iPhone, on iOS, and also on Android. And beyond that, the LMS also is already in the works as part of the things that we are earmarking, for the next agenda on the digital transformation. And again, also the body of knowledge which has been enhanced, and of course, our website is now very much user friendly in terms of people living with disability can also be able to make use of our website and solve and all of those things. A lot is still in the works with respect to digital transformation of the institute's journey. We are also looking at introducing AI and a chatbot on the website of the institute. All of these are things that already have been driven by the committee that I lead, under the the privilege of the president of the institute. And we are asking that you please continue to support us even as we go into the election so that we can continue to deliver value to our people. There's more to come. Let's keep, of course, enhancing the values of our institute. Thank you very much, Mr. President, and thank you everybody on this call. Over to you, Prince.
Thank you so much, Mr. Adeyemi Ajayi, for a very concise goodwill message. Mrs. Chidi Obiejesi, please, if you're here, kindly share your thoughts in 2 to 3 minutes. Mrs. Obiejesi, are you here with us? So your mic is open, but I cannot hear you at the moment if you are trying to speak. Okay, while we're waiting to hear from Mrs. Obiejesi, Mr. Sean Olabode Badiru, I see you on the call. If you're with us, please take a moment.
Good evening. Please confirm you can hear me.
Good evening. Loud and clear, please.
Okay, thank you very much for the privilege to be here this evening. And Mr. President, thank you very much for putting this together. I must begin by commending your inspiring leadership over the past 1 year. The milestones you've shared today are not just impressive, they are really, really transformational. And I must commend all you have done, from the mutual recognition agreements with the CIPD and the CPHR to the activation of the welfare scheme and the enhancement of our technological infrastructure. It's really clear that your presidency has set a new benchmark in professional excellence and what I call institutional credibility. I'm particularly excited about the decentralization of members' induction and the renewed push towards members' engagement and welfare. I mean, these steps really resonate with the very core of inclusive leadership that you have always represented. And now hearing all your projections for the next 1 year, especially the proposed partnership with SHRIM and the bold move to activate the CIPM tribunal to standardize HR practice, it is really evident that we are charting a future of regulatory influence, global relevance, and really a deeper member value delivery. I want to say, Mr. President, that I'm absolutely aligned with your vision. And if by God's grace and the will of the members, I emerge as an elected council member, I will throw my weight fully behind it, not just in words, but in tangible actions. As you all know, I've always been a part of this journey. While you were serving your first term as president, I was completing my second and final term as the chairman of CIPM Ogun State branch, which I just handed over last week. And during this period, we worked closely to bring the Institute's goals to life at the grassroots level, from facilitating the induction of LASU top leadership into CIPM, the Vice Chancellor, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, the leadership of LASU. By the help of God, we did that together, to establishing the first HR club at FUTA, to forging academic and governmental partnerships. My team and I consistently drove the visibility, relevance of this profession. We always, and we have also supported over 2,000 graduates through career fairs and succeeded in converting programs attendees to membership prospects, over 300 of them. That's alignment in motion, I mean, with your strategic vision. And also at the national level, I've had the privilege of working under your leadership during the 2024 Strategic Leadership Retreat, where we charted the Institute's direction for the next 3 years. I was also honored to contribute to the establishment of the CIPM UK branch, which speaks to expanding international footprints. And also for innovation, because of our time, has been my lane. I mean, since 2021, I've led the technical and multimedia team for the annual international conference and exhibition, delivering the digital experience you envisioned. And that experience earned a merit award for me during our 55th anniversary. And I believe we can do even much more. So I'll leave it there, Mr. President. Your vision for reskilling, retooling, and reimagining services also aligns with what I've always championed: innovation, service excellence, just name it, sustainability, engagement. And if elected into council, I intend to continue driving this with renewed energy, supporting your SOAR agenda through disruptive transformation, automation, and so much more. Once again, I want to thank you, Mr. President, and our esteemed colleagues on this call for your leadership. And I thank all members here for your continued support as I look forward to what we can all build together. Thank you very much once again. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sean Olabode. Mr. Aminu Yao, are you there? Are you here with us now?
Yes.
Fantastic. Please go ahead.
Thank you so much, Prince. Good evening, Mr. President, the leadership, our elders, and all my colleagues on this call. Good evening. I think for me, I will say congratulations to CIPM as a family, because of all of these years that we have been with the Institute, what we have always seen is that at every point, President come raise the bar in terms of achievements and leadership. We have always been lucky, in choosing our presidents. I can tell you that anybody who is around the Institute will always tell you that, we are just so lucky. At every point in time, our presidents are extraordinary. You can just roll back through history and see how we keep on progressing, moving forward. When you thought that you are done in terms of ideas, what to do, the next president will just come up with another beautiful idea that will, shake you completely. So, Mr. President, we thank God that you are our president, because you have continued from where the IPP has stopped. And for somebody like me who has been in the council with you, I can attest to that in terms of your foresight, vision, and with all that you roll out today as your focus for the next year, I know it's achievable. And I must tell you that the assignment you gave me in particular as an elected council member to lead the crusade in the advocacy, public sector advocacy, that one will continue. I will double my effort. The promises we made, or the promises you made our members, we the members, I assure you that we are going to make your dream come true, because your dream is our dream. We have so many plans, on ground now. Looking at the states that we don't have presence, that issue of visibility, specifically in northern part of Nigeria, we are going to work on it seriously. In fact, we have already started. We have put in place a lot of, plans on ground. We are only waiting for the time to mature, because we have made the contacts, we have established the relationship, we have built the bridges. So I assure you, Mr. President, you will not be disappointed. And as far as we are concerned, God's willing, we will return to council, and we will come back sometime next year and report this same achievement. In fact, achievements that we have not even promised, by the grace of God. So I congratulate all members of CIPM, and I want to promise you once again that our president, like his predecessors, is man of his word. He matches his words with action. He's target-oriented, focused, and we are solidly behind him in this. And God's willing, we will have cause to smile. Thank you so much, Prince, for giving me the opportunity to speak.
Thank you so much, Mr. Aminu Yao, for your thoughts. Mr. Osahon Amole, I don't know if you're with us.
Yes. Good evening, Mr. Prince.
Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us. Please share your thoughts in 2 minutes.
Thank you. Please confirm that I'm audible enough.
Loud and clear.
Thank you very much. Good evening, Mr. President, Malam Ahmed, Ladan, Gobir, my esteemed fellow on the call, my esteemed leadership, the National Treasurer, the Vice President, and everyone on the call. I want to really salute Mr. President for all that he has done. He took CIPM from when I was an elected council member, and he has taken it way, beyond what one could actually imagine. Thank you, Mr. President, and thanks to the entire team. Truthfully speaking, CIPM has always never known a better yesterday. It has never known a better, it has always been a very better one. Thank you very much. All the laudable ideas, the initiative, the push, especially and particularly where I've always been concerned about in CIPM, the public service, the public and the civil service sector, because that is where I have served over the years, and I discovered that one of the challenges that we have in this country and in the world is that public and civil service, they're not working. They're not working. But since CIPM came in, you will agree with me that there's actually a first lift, I want to commend Mr. President, especially this recent Akwa Ibom induction and every other induction that has been going on. But my major concern and worry, why I want to come to the council, is to deepen this public service. The local governments are the closest to the people, and CIPM is about the people. So we need to go deep into the local government. Imagine that CIPM is in the 774 local governments of the Federation. Just imagine it. Just imagine it. And just imagine the kind of life that you are living in your workplace. These people having a feel of it. Imagine our traditional rulers. We have Oba Hastrop. Oba Hastrop in Abuja, you will agree with me that his kind of, royalty is different from just the ordinary royalties that you see. And that's the polish that CIPM gives to you, So this is where I'll take it from here. I want to commend Mr. President and commend your entire leadership. I want to appeal to everyone on this call. There are a lot which I think that we can bring aboard. I'm still running for the office of the elected council member, and I appeal to every one of us. Please, just give me this chance to come in and join Mr. Ahmed Ladan, Mr. President and Chairman of the Governing Council. Thank you very much, Prince, and good evening, everybody.
Thank you so much, Mr. Osahan. Mr. Shock Jock, FCIPM, if you're on the call, could you please unmute and speak very briefly? Hello, sir, are you with us? Mr. Shock Jock?
Yes, I'm with you, please. Sorry.
Fantastic.
I was trying to unmute.
Please go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. My name is Isiaku Shockjok, FCIPM. I'm really pleased with the achievements of the leadership so far, as reeled out by the President and Chairman of Governing Council. It's really impressive, but I also believe that we can really do more. And like I have been saying, we also need to also bring some fresh perspectives and new vision, to really take our institute to higher grounds. And that's why I'm throwing my heart into the ring, offering myself to serve as an elected council member. I've been sharing my campaign materials around, and I believe that though I'm an outsider, so to say, virtually all the contestants you can see are either served in the council and are returning. But I believe we also need fresh ideas in the council, which I'm offering. So I wish us all luck as we conduct our AGM. And I wish that whoever is elected will continue to contribute, cooperate with the president, the vice president, and the treasurer, to take our institute to higher grounds. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Shockjock. And thank you so much, everybody, for your time. We are fast running out of time. Sadly, we will not be able to take further comments from everybody on the call. But on behalf of the organizing team and the entire CIPM community, I would like to sincerely thank everybody who's made today's interactive session a success. To our president, Mr. Ahmed Ladan Gobir, FCIPM, thank you for your visionary leadership and for graciously taking us through your remarkable journey over the past year. Your clarity, depth, and commitment to
Hello,
excellence.
Prince.
Yes.
Hello, Prince. The president will need to have a closing thought.
Okay. Mr. President, are you still with us?
We need to hear the floor to President. Yes.
Oh yeah, Prince. Thank you very much. I'm here.
Please, your closing thoughts before we close.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. Before I go ahead, I see the hand of Stanley Peter Onukwocha up. Stanley is of our USA branch. I would like to crave the indulgence of everyone to please allow Stanley speak. Stanley, if you are able to unmute, please go ahead and speak.
Stanley, 1 minute.
Hello. Yeah,
right.
good afternoon. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, everyone, for the opportunity you have given to me to speak. I just joined. I joined from the middle of President's speech, and I was impressed, and then very, very happy to be part of this event this afternoon. It's about 1:30 p.m. here in the US. And one of the most interesting part of President's speech is where he mentioned that they are coming soon to see us here, and that they're going to have because I joined the CIPM when they signed the MOU with the CIPM of Canada branch. I was there. I was at that event, and I was very happy seeing that happen. And I'll be very, very happy seeing our institute also sign an MOU with SHRM. During our last meeting We talked about it extensively. And most of us here, we were like, okay, if it's going to happen, I think we will try to make ourselves available to be part of that event. And we are all looking forward to have you guys here join us in June to have that program, that collaboration come to fruition. So I'm very, very happy. This night, we are going to have our meeting, I think this night by 8 p.m. And I'm going to tell members that I was at this event today and you guys are actually making much plan to make that our effort come to fruition. We are just new. We just started last year. We were just inaugurated last year here in the US, and we are the pioneer executive. We were inaugurated December 14th, 2024, and we are doing our best here to make our institute great at this level, because we always envy our sister institute our sister branch in UK and Canada, and we are the US. We say, okay, since we are just here, we are going to make sure that we match up with whatever they are doing. So thank you all. Thank you, Mr. President. And I wish and pray that you come in the second tenure so that this work you started with us will come to fruition before your second tenure ends. Thank you so much, and do have a great day, everyone.
All right. Thank you, Stanley. Sorry, distinguished professional colleagues, I asked Stanley to speak because, it's confirmation of the fact that we said we inaugurated a US branch last year, and Stanley is secretary of the branch. The chairman of the branch, Pastor Gabriel Lukiti, FCIPM, is also on the call. I saw him there. So that's it. Before I make my closing appeal and remarks, I do not know if the Vice President, Mrs. Chidimo BJC, if she's able to speak now. I think she had challenges with her muting earlier on. Mrs. BJC.
Good evening, Mr. President. Can you hear me now?
Loud and clear. Please go ahead.
Oh, thank God. Apologies. It's the village setting. Thank you. Good evening, distinguished professionals and leaders on the call. It's actually a pleasure to be here this evening to speak with you. And I want to first say thank you to all of you, the over 100 that came in here to hear us make this presentation of our achievement in the past 1 year. I want to say thank you for giving us that opportunity to serve you, and also for being here to even listen to us. I want to also say that your feedback so far has been great, and the council has been fine. My take is this: we have started the journey of transformation, and we would continue that, given your support. While the president have reeled out all that we have done, I know that besides providing that support, required support for leadership to drive all this, we also made sure that within the branch development team, we made sure that the branches, CIPM became even more relevant in the branches, and the branches became even more active, so that this year, when we will be looking at the best branch award, we have not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4. And given your support, if we are able to commence the next tenure, we will be looking at even much more than that. And like all the leaders have said, much more on the transforming, on this journey of transforming our institute for good and giving our members value. That has been what we've been passionate about. And you can say that for all we have delivered, both in the expansion outside of Nigeria and within Nigeria, either towards the public sector or even within the private sector, it has been all about you, our members. So you are our passion. You are what we want to do. The value we want to create is for you. Thank you very much for listening to us. We look forward to your support. And like the NT earlier said, we look forward also to your feedback. And because we can only do this together. We can't do it without you. Thank you very much. I wouldn't want to take much of your time because I know that our time is fast spent. Thank you, Mr. President, for the opportunity to lend my voice to all that have been said. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much, Madam VP. And thank you once again, Prince and Omotola. My closing thoughts is just an appeal to our members and through you to all those who are unable to all those who are on this call and through you to those who are unable to join the call. Although I had said when I was speaking that some of us are being returned unopposed, we will still need you to please cast your votes for us. Cast your votes for us because your votes will be evidence of your validation of what we are doing and your confirmation that we can go ahead to continue to do what we're doing and even do more for the Institute. Thank you for joining this call. We do not take your presence for granted, and we wish you all a very good evening. Thank you. Over to you, Prince.
Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you to everyone that has been able to join the call. We truly appreciate your time. And of course, I'd like to also thank my co-moderator, Motola Akanokon. And it's been a pleasure co-steering this session with you. As we move forward, may we continue to contribute to a more dynamic and people-centric future for our profession. Thank you, everyone, and do have a wonderful evening.